Hello everyone, it's March 13th, 2024. Welcome to the day in life of Solomon Chau. I am just reminiscing about the events that unfolded yesterday and self-reflecting. So don't mind me if I'm going off on a tangent and you don't see the things that I was experiencing. Especially I was in New York City yesterday. So it turns out it was my aunt's funeral. Let's just call her an aunt. Whether she's a great aunt or aunt is borderline. They're all from the village of China, Guangzhou, I guess. I don't even know if it's Guangzhou, whatever. It's southern China, near Hong Kong, but not in Hong Kong. It's just, it is what it is. Okay, so we're all Chinese. All right. Okay. Chinese, Cantonese, just like, yeah, I know how racist people are, especially myself. It's just, I'm Chinese, okay, and more so than others, whatever it is. It's a huge, diverse population of people. Anyways, I go to the funeral, traditional thing, except, everyone's like, ha 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 ha, whatever, until it happens to them. Whatever the event is, death of the family, or, you get injured or traumatized, or, you get scammed, or you get grifted, or whatever the fuck. You buy a house, it burns down, it's a tragedy happens, and you're just like traumatized, and, it's unreal. So that's why I'm self-reflecting. I need that time just to get it out of my system, or just go over things and review things, like how could have others, life could have been different, or how could I, benefited somehow, or how I could have made things better for myself and family and stuff like that, and to optimize things. Or is this just it? It is just what it is. And yeah, whatever you do in life, the ultimate thing is death and taxes. You make money, this way or that way, the tax man's gonna come after you, whether it's a scam or a grift or whatever. People want money. Someone out there, whether it's the government or some creepy criminal organization or whatever, is going to try to tax you. You could be a Yakuza, it could be, Myanmar, it could be fucking Cambodia, criminals, it could be the U.S. government themselves, or whichever government. I mean, like anyone, or it could be some Brahmin, or even the Pope can like infringe some like weird tax on you. I don't fucking know. Like, no one's excused of paying this like imaginary thing to this imaginary like alternate reality being that comes out if you don't pay this tax or whatever. And much of it is just human bullshit. Like hopefully the taxes go to like something beneficial to society, but most of the time it's probably just some bullshit. That's my opinion, but that's what it is. Billions of dollars being poured to Ukraine and Russia and Israel versus Palestine, or some other like weird bullshit involving the UA and I don't know, some like foreign Middle Eastern like rich oil country you probably never even set foot in or heard of, or just more bullshitting. It's just like holy shit, holy shit, just foreign international business. Yeah, so what do you guys do? We do foreign international, like just the art of bullshit, and just like who is right, who is wrong. There's no real right or wrong. It's just whoever comes across as the most confident. I mean, you could literally have a lawyer or a salesman just tell you the sky is purple and rainbow today, and in reality it's actually blue and looking and white and with clouds. It's just like that's this. But to like the bullshit artist can convince everyone and everyone's grandmother that that it's purple and has magic rainbows and unicorns, and it's like what in the actual fuck? And so people are weird like that when you go up the, you know, the food chain. You know, just the weirder and the more bullshit they become, like a Donald Trump or something, just spewing out all this like crazy nonsense and shit, and just like gets everyone to believe in him and stuff. And that's exactly what it is. I mean, you have him versus like North Korea, Kim Jong-un, and it's just like he has his own bullshit. It's like Brahmin. Eventually, you'll meet a point where it's like Brahmin versus Brahmin, bullshit artist versus another bullshit artist. You know, and that's what it is. It's just like what in the fuck? It's like Santa Claus versus the Easter Bunny. It's just like magical bullshit just flying left and right. It's just like what the fuck? And it's just like, ugh. So I avoid people. Even if smoking and drinking are like less potent than loneliness, I would still rather be lonely, because I don't want to deal with people's bullshit and nonsense. There's a lot more grifts and scams and cybercrime these days, and now women are particularly participating with suing guys and like men and all this stuff. It's like ridiculous. With the accusations, there's that anti-aging guy, and he's all. I just found out she wanted $9 million from him, give or take, accusing him of all this crazy shit. And it's just like, what in the hell? You know, most of the time he's doing his anti-aging products, and all of a sudden he's like, yeah, my ex sued me for $9 million. And it's just like, what the fuck? And they do that, you know. She just wanted money, you know. She just wanted money, you know. Whatever she says, whatever accusations, so she can come up with anything. He touched me inappropriately, he's perverse, he's weird, you know, just all this crazy shit. And that's what happens. That's what happens in America. People don't work anymore, or they try not to. And when the price of inflation, everything is going up, they need money. These like really grimy, petty people need money to keep up with the Joneses, with the inflated cost of things. The cost of living is, you know, high. Okay, the cost of living is high, so they need to keep grifting to keep up with their upkeep. Because the Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, their upkeep is high. You know, they may have a lot of other people in their organization, or they may have like kids and stuff. And
be outside more now.
Normally that happens.
Yeah, they do. See you later.
You know, power tripping people usually have kids, and they have high expenses, so they have to keep grifting. A lawyer has to get clients, you know, an insurance salesman has to keep getting clients and shit, like all the time. You know, grifting and sales, and you know, they have to keep grifting. You know, at some point they made a big decision in their life to get married and have kids or whatever, or buy this or that, you know, property, and they have to keep up with the cost. You know, although they've helped themselves grow out of their comfort zone, at the same time it's also a demon that they have to keep feeding. The house owns them, and because they have all these bills to pay at the month, you know, they are slaves to this home. So, you know, if you don't buy anything, you won't have this demon to feed. If you don't have that girlfriend, you don't have that demon, another demon to feed. You know, it's just like, sometimes it just becomes very monstrous, you know. That's why you have to be very careful with the people you hang out with, you know, and their inner demons. And unfortunately, it could be your girlfriend, or the wife, you know, just stealing all your money and shit. And then they just give you this look like it was you. It's like this like crazy shit going on. And I'm just like, the fuck? What in the actual fuck? So another thing is why you would want just like a normal car, like a Toyota Corolla or something, or a Honda Civic, or what have you. It's because it can easily be bought and repurchased. You know, you don't have to baby it, you don't have to coddle it. You know, you don't care if there's a scratch or whatever. You know, if you buy the sports edition, the luxury edition, you're worried about people stealing from you. You're just worried about people sneaking under your car and stealing the carburetor. You're worried about having to buy an extra lock system to protect it. You know, all these worries and all this like cost risk management stuff. And the less you have, you know, the more you gain. Now you have time, that extra time and extra added layer of protection just to, you know, go on a stroll, take a walk in the park, and do your own thing. And, you know, anything that prevents you from doing that, you know, feels really shitty. For me, that feels really shitty. What if I had kids and all of a sudden, you know, the cops, you know, had to bring them back home from a party, and, you know, because they found like weed at the party or whatever, or crack cocaine, and they're just guilty by association. Now you have to go to some kind of like jail, or you know, get the damn court or whatever. Or maybe my kid himself has all these demons and shit and needs to provide social validation to everyone, and by buying things, and, you know, I'm fucked. As the parent, I would be fucked, you know. Or if my kid's being picked on, you know, at school, and especially if they're Asian, you know, he's gonna blow up, you know, especially if he's Asian, you know, and starts going postal and shit. Then I look like the asshole father, not knowing what to do. And even in my case, I would say it's perfectly justified that, you know, he goes postal and shit. And now I look like an asshole. Like, what did it do? What can you do before things get postal? Huh. So I don't really know. I don't really want to give a fuck. I don't want to give a fuck about even giving it a fuck. Damn. My priority is just to create more bandwidth for myself and just blatantly not care. In fact, I don't want to care so much that I'm just gonna take the detour and go across this like secret garden. You know, there's just too many people here. They have nothing else better to do but watch me, watch them, you know, just vlogging on this camera. And you know, this isn't New York City anymore. So back to my story about New York City. So I just had to disclose people are acting very weird these days. You know, especially with the accusations and scams and lawsuits and sexual harassment. Acting very, very uptight, acting very high strung, you know, people are getting in trouble over fucking nothing, like, is weird. Now you have actual real criminals doing real crime and stuff, and especially with, you know, the Venezuelan crime, you know, up in New York City, and the migrant problem. You know, that's like real crime. People are getting killed left and right, and you know, once you're in the world of like rich people, you don't get a lot of those crimes. You just get to like these trashy people trying to sue you, and you just need a lawyer, you know, just. But that's how it's always been, you know, ever since that woman won $1 million from McDonald's for like spilling hot coffee on her lap and shit like that. And that's another reason why you shouldn't do business, you know, and just keep your money safely in Vanguard or Fidelity or Charles Schwab or whatever. Do your dividend funds, or, you know, your ETFs or your mutual funds or whatever, because you could get sued. You know, it just opens up that little canal for people to get in. You know, not cool. Just blatantly not cool. Ah, fuck. Someone's in. I can't believe this. There's an actual human being walking across the damn shitter I was gonna go to. I don't know. I'm just gonna go back. I was gonna go through the forest, but then there's an actual person there. I'm just like, fuck this. You know. Complacency. So yeah, I was in Chinatown. You know, it was a Tuesday night, and everyone was looking like they were having fun, especially like tourist-looking people doing their things. Girls were posing on the street, pretending to be Instagram models or whatever. And one, I even saw their nipple just hanging out. I was like, wow. But then of course I attracted the attention of other women in my tribe who were Chinese, and they started talking to me fiercely and trying to get me to like get tea and, you know, for dessert, and, you know, after the family dinner. It's just like, what the fuck? I'm trying to look at this girl's nipple in her pretty dress, you know, doing her fashion thing, her photos, and then she just like super aggressively, you know, just comes at me like asking, oh, bubble tea, you know, blah 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 blah. Let's get some. I'm like, what? Why can't you just ask me when I'm not trying to, you know? And she, you know, that's when they come at you. That's when women are coming at you, when you're most focused on someone else, or something you're doing something that you're really into. That's when they come at you. Or if you have a lot of money, that's when they come at you. Otherwise, if it's a day like this, I'm walking outside, no one gives a fuck, you know, they're not gonna come at me. It's just like, I get to do whatever, and there's no girls around, they're not gonna come at me. You know, they only come at you when there's an opportunity. When there's money, when there's money on the table. That could also translate to like information, or two, if there's girls around. So that's the only two times people ever care. They're not willing to do anything with their energy, with their time, unless one, money, and two, girls. Okay, and everyone freaks out about money. That's a given. And if it's associated with money, like a name, address, telephone number, you know, whatever, or a potential lawsuit or whatever for saying something, even the dumbest of things, they'll come after you. So again, So you thought you had freedom of speech. In today's world, even with Twitter and social media, if you say anything, people will try to come after you. Even on Reddit, if your name's anonymous, people still try to come after you because they're just that petty. They're just that petty. They're just that petty because they're just that petty. Oh, you told someone that they're fat, and now the CEO is very sensitive because he is actually fat, and that he's the CEO of the bariatrics company and co or whatever the fuck. And it's just like, it's also like, what the fuck? It's like, this fat fuck actually cares. And it's like, yeah, believe it or not, other people may actually motherfucking care. Someone like me just is like, ha 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 ha, no one gives a fuck. I also have the luxury to not give a fuck. Some people just don't have anything to lose. Some people just like have nothing to lose. Their reputation, they don't care. They work at McDonald's. They're the truck driver. They're always working for S&P 500 company or whatever company. It's not them. It's not them as individuals. It's like they don't really fucking care, and just do their own thing. At the same time, they're preserving their mental health and emotional bandwidth just to work. I mean, it's not sexy, it's not exciting, but you're always protected. Your low-key status is protected. So these aren't things that you ever think about or experience until it happens to you, And once it happens to you, you're probably one, like, did this person really care all that much? And two, where did this lawsuit come from? It's just like, what the fuck? You're telling me this person spent, months orchestrating some kind of lawsuit against me, and they never even told me or said anything about it beforehand, and it just like came out of the blue. It's just like nothing was addressed. That will definitely happen to you, in your lifetime, or you'll hear stories about it in your lifetime. Again, loneliness is deadlier than alcohol or smoking, but I just prefer to be alone because of that. And then you also have things like animals as pets. Again, the dog can bite people and cause all kinds of trouble, and you just can't do anything. Risk assessment. Risk assessment. So, being Asian is just like constant monitoring and risk assessment. Everyone says the same crazy thing. When I was at the funeral, everyone's all Chinese. They said, I could tell, don't call mommy. And he says like, don't pick up the phone, don't answer the door. You don't want mommy to go to jail. And it's just like, that's the average, Asian outlook on life. Like, they don't want to be bothered, with this like Donald Trump, like white people energy. Just like, they're not that socially fit. They're not. It's like, don't answer the door. Don't pick up the phone. Like, they don't want to talk to people. They don't, because people are assholes. They're well aware of your like schemes and your grifts and your, and especially in an attention economy. It's just like you can't just be social with everyone, because there are bad people out there. There are bad apples out there trying to manipulate you to buy something or fall into their grift or their scam. And you're just like, you don't want mommy to go to jail, you don't want. And there's all these people lining up to get your business, lawyers, criminals, scam artists. It's just like salesmen. It's just like, what the fuck? It's like, you people aren't like friendly. You're not friends. You're not neighbors. It's like, you're a professional And that's what they do. And you'll be like, what? Yeah, that's what they do. It's just like, it's unbelievable. And when I say you don't know people, it means like they can be professional bullshit artists. They can be professional, you know, speak like fluent womanese. They can be professionals at this. A victim, just accusing men of you know, all these crazy accusations. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, just like, she's a professional. She's an actor. You know, you're talking about millions of dollars. Just for what? For what? Spending time with Johnny Depp? You don't see any of these other girls spending time with Johnny Depp. You know, famous Hollywood actor, and here you are just being a piece of shit and suing him and do. So like, what the? Just people aren't cool. This people aren't cool. I don't know, vice versa. I mean, it's just very risky. Gone Girl. Then there was another episode of Gone Girl, and it turns out that the girl was actually telling the truth, that she got kidnapped, and the one orchestrating the whole thing was actually the white guy, Yale graduate, and he eventually got caught and being creepy and doing all kinds of weird shit. And in this case, the girl was actually telling the truth. But yeah. I'm trying to walk off all the calories I was eating yesterday. Here we're at the lake. The lake again. Well, the stream again. I'm just gonna video some of the stream because people upset me. I don't know. There's no point in telling people your net worth or whatever. They'll just try to take advantage of you, or they'll feel entitled to your money. You know, you don't see anyone just suing the stream or hanging out here because it has nothing to do with money. You know, you can't obtain money. You can't like sue the stream. It's like, it's perfect. It's perfect without people. You know, because it does its own thing. It doesn't need lawyers. It doesn't need grifters. It doesn't need scam artists. It doesn't need bullshit artists. It just is, you know. There's no money involved. It's not going to attract much attention. That's what I like. It's low key. You know, if you put a woman in here, she's going to accuse everyone that they touched her. The animals were sexually harassing her. The birds were trying to touch her vagina. I mean, like all kinds of crazy shit. Acting all fucking crazy, and like, she'll just say anything to get money. And there's none of that shit, you know. This is nature. It's nature. The animals don't give a fuck. I don't even give a fuck, you know. Ric Flair, Nature Boy, doesn't give a fuck. Look at this shit. No one gives a fuck. There's so much beauty in it. Yeah. So I'm back in the world of humans. It's very nasty. Very nasty. And, you know, just going to the city once, I absorbed all that information. You know, what was going on, you know, how people, what people do and stuff. So, you know, I don't know. Did I have fun or whatever? I was trying to, but, you know, the fact that I'm Chinese just entertains this Chineseness, because in general people are very racist. So Chinese people have to hang out with other Chinese people, and it just limits their scope to, you know, a mass of other Chinese. and the Koreans have to hang out with the Koreans, and the Indian have to hang out with the Indian, and once in a while you get a mixed couple, and that's cool and all, but you know, eventually, you know, things just turn just all out racial things. This, you know, there's gonna be a table for Russian people, there's gonna be a table for Greek people, just everyone, and then there's gonna be like one black person, and it just happens. Things are done predominantly because of the, you know, race, just culture. That's just how it is, you know. And then once in a while, you know, I end up in like the UN groups. Everyone's just different, and I'm like, that's cool too. But in most cases, everyone will gravitate towards, you know, is this community like predominantly white? Is it Chinese? Is it Indian? It's just like, and that's all it is. That's all it is. You know. And then you have some like mixed, diverse, a few groups of people and whatever, individuals, and then, you know, this. But the thing is going to be operated by strictly whoever the vast majority of the race is, which is like everything else. I mean, I don't need to explain this. Again, I'm back into the white suburban area where nothing happens. My cousin was like, she has options to, you know, live. She doesn't need to live in the city. She can move to a home in the suburbs, but she's like, this place doesn't have culture. Or let me translate that to, you know, shit to do, you know, fun to have, you know, just being able just to walk outside of your apartment or whatever, take a train or the NJ transit and the PATH train, is just to be in Brooklyn or Queens or whatever, and just, you know, spend your day at the garden or the library, or just go shopping and look at what everyone else is doing, or some like 50% off, 75% off sales and wherever the fuck. Or you have this, you know, just less people, just a white suburban area. Nothing's really going on. That's cool. So, with all the fluff gone, you have me just working on my routine, just taking a walk, you know, expelling any little ounce of laziness that still resides in my natural body. And, you know, whatever. It is what it is. Any other takeaways? You know, I don't know. My aunt's dead. My great aunt's dead. You know, people die. There's nothing I can optimize. Just avoid getting in trouble. And just keep working and make money, because that's what lay people do. It makes sense to them. Maybe that's the best choices you can make. Now, I read an article that the younger generation, which is hard for me to believe, is getting even lazier and fatter, and that's what I expected. For people, as evolution, you know, continues, with technology, people get lazier and fatter, and they don't see the value in working hard, because everything's already there for you, because your helicopter parent bought everything for you. Because your helicopter parent bought everything for you. There's no sense of balance. You could buy someone everything, but that doesn't translate to the individual having their own mind-body connection, mind-body-spirit connection, or passion in whatever the fuck they're doing. You know, unless you saw the sense of urgency. See, your parents probably grew up poor and then they were traumatized, and now they have to overly compensate to fill that hole, that, you know, stuff that they wish that they had back in the 80s or the 90s or whatever, or the early 2000s. But if you keep spoiling all your kids and the future generation, what you don't know is what the rich know, that the greatest gift you can give to a child is poverty. Now that sounds very harsh and cruel, but that's true. It teaches an individual grit, perseverance, to keep working on themselves to get better. It teaches the person to you know, harden themselves and persevere, and work ethic. You know, if you don't have that fundamental basis, you'll become fat and lazy. You'll play video games and watch porn and think it's perfectly okay to live a degenerate lifestyle. To have no discipline is cool, apparently. And you'll be thinking those thoughts. Why should I work when I'm not being fairly compensated? You know? And you'll reach an age, you'll reach an age, you'll outage programs and stuff, school, colleges, even graduate schools, PhDs, and you'll get this piece of paper hanging up on your wall, and you're gonna be just laying there in your parents', you know, home in their couch or whatever, and say, oh, it's not worth it to get a job or whatever, they don't offer enough money, blah blah blah. Again, you fail to realize what work ethic is, you know, and you didn't obtain anything. You know, you have the iPad, you have the TV, you have the internet, you have whatever the fuck it is. You have your Suburban or Lexus in your driveway. It's just like, you have everything. You're complacent. You know, it's hard. If you do have everything and you're still hardworking and you still have ambition to go out and do things, then, you know, that's the key. That's what you want people to be like. But unfortunately, you know, not everyone gets that message. I don't expect everyone to get that message. You know, a lot of people, you know, become degenerates. That's exactly what happens. For the vast majority of people, they're not strong mentally or emotionally, so they're gonna do drugs. You know, they're gonna combat this you know, daily life thing with drugs and alcohol, and that's what happens. That's exactly what happened with the studies in the 1980s, mining in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. People just turned to drugs and alcohol just because that was the easy life. They didn't know what to do with their time, so working hard and shit and having work ethic towards something just didn't make any sense to them. So they're just chilling, bumming around. You could do that. You can do that, but you know, the consequences is dire. You just won't be a very functional human being anymore. You know, you won't be that person that you like in the mirror. I've collected unemployment 3 times in my life, and I know what that's like. So being productive is one of the most important things a human being can experience throughout their daily life. A normal ass human being feeling productive. You know, you went to the gym, you went swimming, you went boxing, you went, you know, working out, whatever. I guarantee you, if you look back at your life five years, just simply 5 years later, you would be like, wow, I spent my life doing something you know, that I'm proud of, as opposed to drinking and partying, which is nothing wrong. It's just there are situations and things that you could have changed to, you know, not feel like shit in the future. And I'm telling you right now, just not working and being lazy is not a good way to spend your time, even though you think it's a genius idea to do because you're young. I'm telling you right now, it's not. You're going to regret it. But, you know, a lot of things people don't know. When you're young, you just don't know. You don't know what kind of kids you're gonna have when you have sex, you know, in the backseat of your Camaro with X, Y, and Z girl. You know, you don't know if they're gonna be doctors, lawyers, or a degenerate. I mean, like, what the fuck? They could be a doctor, a lawyer, and still be a degenerate. I mean, there's a whole bag of like crazy shit. Like, you just don't fucking know. You just don't fucking know. Sometimes it's just fucking random. You know. So I know who I am. Is there something that I could change about myself? Or yeah, I'm going walking every day. I'm doing my daily exercises. I'm working every day and stuff at the hospital. You know, I'm doing some very positive things for myself. Does everyone need to know about it? No. I mean, and then I'm like, my generation, I have a problem with social validation. You know, I also have to show off all the time. You know, I'm never good enough, especially Asian people. You know, you have to always be the straight A student. You know, you have to be the nerdiest motherfucking Asian in school or whatever the fuck. Or you get looked down upon. Whatever. I think I'm over that stage. I'd rather be old and just not give a fuck and walk naked around the beach. That kind of not giving a fuck. That kind of level of not giving a fuck. To me, that's kind of awesome. Just being able to do whatever you really want to do. And that's it. There. I mean, as long as you're not interrupting or disturbing whatever, you're good to go. You know, and there you have it. You know, you have like these old people communities, you know, just swingers or whatever, and just hooking up because they just don't care anymore, or they're just walking around on the beach butt naked because they just don't give two fucks anymore. And that's, you know, that's how it is. I just don't like this like crazy shit with the modern day women about chasing materialistic things, suing the guy, accusing the guy of all this crazy shit, and he didn't do shit. And with all these lawsuits, it's just like, damn, I'm too old for this shit. You know. Again, loneliness, I would say loneliness is probably the biggest uphill battle with this kind of lifestyle, but you know, you have to pick your poison. Or you can have your drugs and your alcohol and just be super social. Whatever. I don't particularly care, but I know the best of my own interests. Again, I could be making wrong decisions, bad decisions, I don't know. But I'm just here to saying that this is the path I chose. Because it's for me. I may die of loneliness, I don't know. You know, you're more likely to have a stroke or like heart attack or whatever, or high cholesterol or diabetes being lonely than smoking and drinking every day. Maybe like once or twice a day. And that's up there. Loneliness is up there with me because I don't want to deal with people, you know. I don't want to deal with these fucking problems, you know, with lawyers and with weird accusations, and this is very rampant in America. The point to like ridiculous. And that's why you don't want to marry outside your race, because people do this shit, you know. They can easily, once they divorce you, they can easily just go back to Russia or Vietnam or Singapore or the Philippines or Japan and just ditch you. Just leave you with nothing. Get all your stuff and just and just fucking bounce. And then it will just be you, like I am here now, just alone, vlogging. So with that said, I'm just gonna peace out. I'll be back. I'm gonna try to record something in the park, or just go home and get ready for work at night, because everything else is just it's just, you know, going to be a whatever. It's not up to me. It's up to the earth rotating around the sun and whatever the fuck is up there. I call it money, or probably God, or Jesus. I'll just trust Jesus. So thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Peace out.